and welcome back to the Film and TV channel. I'm going over to the world of Netflix today, so we're going to have a look at a new, I think it's a Netflix original, fairly short action thriller film. This is called simply Lou, L-O-U, Lou. Please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notification. These vlogs are coming out. I try and inform where I can, entertain when I can on these various film reviews, TV drama reviews. I do information blogs as well. And I do a little Manchester City channel as well, Citizen channel, all things Manchester City. So if you or anyone you know is interested in that, please point them my direction. I'll be very grateful. If not, don't worry, plenty of film and TV stuff if that's what you're interested in. So please, any thumbs up, always welcome. All your comments are welcome on this film or anything film and TV. Doesn't have to be particularly on this film, but a nice thumbs up, make an old film watcher very happy. Yes, 107 minutes, a little bit long this for me. It felt long as well. 18 certificate, okay. Not particularly sure why. More of 15, I would have thought. UK based, obviously it's streaming, so they've got to be ultra cautious, I suppose. It's directed by Anna Forster, and the film stars, it's good to see Allison Janney in a slightly different role to what we normally see her. Jumi Smollett, Logan Marshall Green, Ridley Bateman, and Matt Craven. This was released on September the 23rd, and I'm reviewing it on September the 23rd, 2022. So it's very early days when we come to the scores. I'm doing this review as at 1 p.m. So any comments and scores as at that date, but there's not many of them yet. So we've got Internet Movie Database, though. We do have 44 people who've left a score and review already, so obviously probably most of the cast and crew. But if it is, it's not doing that great, just 5.2 out of 10, so just over halfway. 22 people scored it between 6 and 9, and 10 people scored it between 2 and 5. So that's a little bit better. That's a 69% positivity. That's ignoring 10 out of 10s and 1 out of 10s, which this film doesn't fall into either category of being that great or that bad, in all fairness. What's it about? Well, it's about a mysterious loner, a female, living a quiet life with her dog, battles the elements and her own dark past when a neighbour's little girl is kidnapped during a storm. Rotten Tomatoes, we do have some critics' reviews, which is nice, just 11. Not the main big boys, if you like, the big hitters, but we've still got 11 critics have added to their thing, and it's 64% positivity, which is fine. That's okay, not a disaster, and coming out with a 5.6 out of 10. So again, not a total failure. 7 fresh and 4 rotten. So just a couple of those critics. Benjamin Lee, he's rotten. He's from The Guardian here in the UK. He said, a film unworthy of both Janney's talents and our attention. Okay, a bit harsh, but I certainly know where Benjamin's coming from with that. I'll comment on that at my little summing up. But rotten as well. But fresh as well. John Anderson from the Wall Street Journal. Yes, he said sometimes you just want a crazy action movie. You do, to kill an evening, and Lou fits the bill. All right, I think he's a bit over this in the way that Benjamin was a little bit the other way. I think John's a little bit. The alternative. Just don't expect to be thinking about it tomorrow. Well, there you go. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, that's a bit more realistic from John, I think, there. As I said, it just felt a little bit long to me. And that's it, guys. There are some little minor critiques, but nothing really to add to those two extremes, if you like. For me, I'm just going to give it a 5 out of 10. I'm not going to go mad. It's not a total disaster, which obviously if a film's a total disaster, or it's something that like a series documentary, I don't usually mark those, but obviously I don't usually mark films as entertainment if they're not very good. So obviously it does get a mark. It gets a 5 out of 10, which isn't a total disaster. And let's face it, it's a direct to streaming effort, and there's a lot worse out there. A lot worse out there on Amazon, a lot worse out there on Netflix. A lot of foreign language stuff that they dub into English, which isn't great either. So it's nice. At least it's nice to have a genuine US action thriller that hasn't been dubbed or messed around with. But really, it doesn't ever really, for me, it never really got going, this. It had elements that was okay, but nothing to really grip me or grip many people by the looks of it. mean, the premise is sort of routine enough, if you like. A storm, a missing young girl, an ex-CIA agent pitched against a special forces soldier. I mean, yeah, it's pretty routine, but potential. But it never really quite grabs you for the hour and 47 minutes, despite an interesting mix of players, if you like. I do like Allison Janney, I do, but though I'm not going to be as harsh as that earlier critic about wondering why she put a name to this. It's just nice to see her try a different sort of role, and this is what it is. But it never, not because we're used to her in different roles, but she never really works in this role for me. And similarly, on the other extreme of this, sort of one of the other main protagonists, Logan Marshall Green, doesn't really deliver in his role either. He just doesn't look menacing enough for me. He does menacing things, don't get me wrong, and that's sometimes good, is it? Someone can look like an angel, and if they do scary things, that's quite good, but it never really sat well with me in this, that he played the part particularly well. Not his fault, he's just doing what he was told, but yeah, not great. Sort of one to watch in the background. I must admit, I was doing a couple of other things that about 20 minutes in, I wasn't fully focused. I was doing things I had it in the background, kept checking. Obviously, it was okay. So it's something to have on in an afternoon. It's not a Saturday night movie, that's for sure. Checking your phone, your Twitter, etc., etc. And sadly, a little bit forgettable once you've watched it all, and not one I can wholeheartedly recommend. But hey, there are worse, and that's the best thing I can say about it. There are worse out there. Let me know what you think, guys. Anyway, much appreciated. Please, until we meet again, that's one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.